Alright, what's going on, everybody? So Sony has announced that they will be launching their own crowdfunding site called First Flight. We all know crowdfunding sites such as Kickstarter is the most popular one, and they're mainly used to get financial support, monetary support from people who want to see some type of project come to life. And it's usually been for smaller entities who aren't a major corporation or don't have a major publisher or a corporation backing them. So Sony has decided to launch their own. Now, some people are upset and outraged about this, and they believe this is Sony taking advantage of their consumers and their fans. So let me tell you my opinion and what I think about it. Let me tell you what my stance is. So me personally, I don't see a problem with it, right? I don't have a personal issue with it, but I'm not going to support it. Let me tell you why I'm not going to support this. The reason I'm not going to support it is because I don't care about the projects that they are going to be putting on this crowdfunding site, because currently it's hardware only. I don't want to fund anything regarding hardware for Sony. I'm not interested in that. I don't want to fund anything regarding hardware for you. You can take care of that yourself, right? Me personally, that's not going to be an investment for me. But when I first heard about this, I thought, okay, maybe this is an opportunity for fans to show Sony their real interest by putting up money on long requested games, such as a SOCOM, a Getaway, a Siphon Filter game. I'll tell you right now, if this was a crowdfunding site for software, or if they start to include software of long-awaited games that haven't been given to us yet, yes, I am completely for that. If they were to put up SOCOM as on that crowdfunding site, I would fund that immediately. No questions asked. Take my money, because that's something I am fully for making an investment in to get that. Right? Same thing with a Siphon Filter, because I've wanted that for a long time. Same thing with another Getaway game. These are some games that have been delayed or rumored and thought to be canceled since the PS3 era. So those are things that I'm personally interested in. But as far as hardware goes, no, I'm not gonna contribute to that, because I don't really care about your hardware outside of the PlayStation 4, really. So I want games. I'm all for funding games. I'm not for funding hardware. But personally, like I said, I don't have a problem with it. I'm just not interested in what you're putting out there to be crowdfunded. And the reason I don't have a personal problem with it, I don't see anything wrong with it necessarily, is because I believe you can't really take advantage of people when they want to do something. Right? How can you? I don't really think you can take advantage of somebody if you're completely transparent and you say what this is for, what you're giving money for, and people want to donate. You can't take advantage of somebody like that. You can take advantage of somebody if you kind of play on their ignorance. If they were to lie, mislead, or fabricate this whole crowdfunding thing, then I would say, yeah, they're definitely taking advantage of the consumer. But if you say, hey, this is a product that we're interested in making, but we're going to let you put up money for it to allow you to possibly support part of its research and development. If they're completely transparent and tell you the truth of what you're doing and don't leave out no details, you're not being taken advantage of. They're telling you the truth. They're telling you the whole circumspect of the situation. At that, it's the ball is in your court at that point. So nobody's forcing anybody to do this. Like, Sony can't take advantage of me in this situation because I don't want to do it. They've told me what they're doing, and I'm saying no. They're not forcing me. Just like if they were doing this for games, I would say yes, and I would understand the whole situation. So they wouldn't be taking advantage of me. This is something I would be deciding to do. And the other reason, I'm not against, like I said, I'm not against Kickstarters in as a whole in the first place, is because the way I see it is you fund and receive a product at the same time. That's what it is typically. With all the games I've ever kickstarted, that I've ever supported on Kickstarter, I funded the game and I received my copy of the game at the same time. To me, it's no different than going to the store and buying the game. The only difference is I'm actually making the game happen before the game is finished. I'm helping the development while getting my copy of the game. To me, that's no different than pre-ordering. That's how I see it. And yeah, there's the element of if the game isn't fully funded, then you don't get your money. All the games that I support get fully funded. So that's not like really a possibility for me, because I'm not gonna really support something that's not gonna happen. And what Sony is doing really is they're like kind of breaking down this barrier, because not that there was any like legality or rules or law to who can use Kickstarter, but it was pretty much just an unwritten rule and assumed that no, Kickstarter is for entities who don't have some type of corporation backing them that they can that they're getting funding from. Sony, as far as I know, is probably the biggest corporation, even though they're in debt. You know, they're still the biggest corporation that is utilizing Kickstarter. They might be the first and the biggest of their kind. And they're I think what they're kind of doing here is putting their pride to the side and not worrying about their possible image, and they're being realist. Like, listen, they're saying, "Hey, let's be real right now. Let's not front. We're broke." And they're getting better, of course, with all the changing and the downsizing and just making better decisions. They're on a much better track than they were before. So they're on the incline as far as their business goes, right? So they're getting better. It's still going to take a lot more time for them to get, I would say, comfortable or stable, but they're on their way. But they're being realists and saying, and like looking at around the room and saying, "Hey guys, we're broke, so we need to be real and look at our options here and see how we can still fund electronics and products and everything like that, and possibly make more money." And they're saying, like, listen, if people want to donate money to us, why not? Let's swallow our pride. Let's not worry about anybody else calling us e-beggars or we're broke. We already know we're broke. Everybody knows they're broke. So they don't really have to worry. For them to worry about people calling them broke is dumb at this point, because everybody knows they are. So they gotta swallow their pride, because you know what's worse than being in debt or being broke? Going out of business is way worse. So you can either hold this L right quick and go under the scrutiny of people looking at you like an e-beggar and a broke company asking your consumers for money, or you can look past that and do what it takes to change the trajectory that this company is going in. So I think that's what they did. So like I said, will I be supporting this? No, because I'm not interested in the products that they're putting up. If they were to put software on there, like certain games I want, yes, I would support it. And I think that's what they should do. And no, I don't have a personal problem with it, because one, nobody is forcing you to give money to them. If they give you the details and you decide to make a decision to give them money, then they are not misleading you or taking advantage of you. Someone can only take advantage of you. There has to be some type of misleading going on. And lastly, like I said, most of the time, like I said, in general, I don't have a problem with Kickstarters, because when you fund these Kickstarters, you get the same thing back that you're funding. So that's just my whole opinion on it. Let me know what y'all think. I'm out of here. Peace.